Everyone, welcome. Thank you very much for coming to the official grand reopening of the PMA Alpha Lambda Chapel House. Now this is Illinois Wesleyan University at large, their homecoming weekend. A time for all the alumni to come back and see the progress of the university, new buildings that have been erected, those types of things. For us, here at Alpha Lambda, homecoming has even a more profound and perhaps literal meaning this year. Because as many of you know, we experienced a house fire in January that effectively devastated about the south third of our house and left many of the residents inside homeless. On that night of the 27th, or that morning rather, I distinctly remember one of my most vivid memories is that all of the members would, between going to SAI and staying warm for a little bit, will come out and see and try and get a feel for when we'd be allowed back in the house. As we watched the intensity of the fire wax and wane, the length of time for reentry became a matter of weeks, a matter of months, a matter of years, never. And after that fire, on the subsequent days, I noticed that there was a distinct change from being hopeful to being in despair on the part of the chapter members. That is, until I received a note from our house board president, Mike Fitzgerald, in some week in March, I believe it was, that we had received a donation from a benefactor, a gentleman who lived in Nebraska, on the order of some $50,000, all to help repair this house. And one of the happiest memories I have this past semester is announcing that news in chapter. And it was met almost immediately with standing ovation, round of applause, people cheering, and it really gave us hope that we would be, in fact, in the house for the fall. I'm happy to say that because of the sacrifice, not only of Coyner, but also of all of you here, all of those involved. I see representative from the Office of Fraternity Sorority Life, Residential Life, the Music School. All these people played very great roles, very integral in getting us back in. Today the ceremony is for you. And I can say for my part that I'm very, very pleased to be back in. It's a beautiful home, as many of you have seen. And I know all the guys are really happy to be there too. So without further ado, I'd like to turn you now to our house board president, Michael Fitzgerald, who'd like to say something.
I can certainly echo some of Dan's pointed words. It's been an amazing, frustrating, agonizing, joyous, stress-filled, incomprehensible year since January 28th. You guys, can you believe that? What we've gone through since January 28th? It's been amazing. It's been a roller coaster ride, for sure. Ups, downs, highs, lows. We've had all of that and more. I am extremely proud and extremely grateful to be standing here today with the house occupied, with it looking better than it's ever been, with it being safer than it's been in my lifetime, without question. It's a wonderful accomplishment, and we're all very thrilled. I want to take just a few moments to say some thanks to people who are here and people who are not here, who helped make this possible. First of all, the members of the active chapter, those that are here, those that graduated in May, who experienced this tragedy most deeply and have given of themselves. In particular, I'd like to thank Dan. I'd like to thank the house managers, James McCauley and James Horner, because they have worked tirelessly throughout the year to get us to this point. I'd like to thank my fellow members of the House Board, the Alumni Board, who have given a considerable time and energy, most of whom don't live here in the area and have to travel on $4 gas to get here for meetings, for work days. We have considerable other alumni from the chapter who came to help us in February when we came in here freezing cold and tore out the carpet and got all the furniture out. In June, the folks who came in here and did an incredible job installing the tile in the bathroom, in the kitchen. In August, when we were back in the house, bringing everything back in, all the furniture, everything. Tremendous amount of support from alumni, from the active chapter, from other chapters from Phi Mu Alpha, and people in the community who just showed up because they heard our story and they wanted to help. We received generous donations from area businesses for our silent auction, in particular from the Mugsies, who hosted our event that day and made a donation. And then ultimately, of course, we received an outpouring of support from our alumni. Some of you are here today who couldn't be here to help or told me, I'm too old to haul a couch, but I can send you a check. An amazing outpouring of support that we were so grateful and gratified. And above all, for Coyner Smith, who called me out of the blue on February 16th and said, Mike, I'd like to help, and here's how I can do it. And I can say with certainty, we would not be here today without Coyner and Donna and your incredible generosity. And I'd just like to thank you for your kind words. We have a few mementos that we would like to present to you as our gratitude for your efforts and your contributions to the chapter.
This is a plaque to always remember what you have given to not only our chapter but also the school. So we want to thank you very much.
However, this probably will not work in our front door. We have a key for you, letting you know that you're always welcome in this house. And then to remember everybody that has helped, and Mr. Smith, we have a plaque that'll go right beside that front door. The first thing you will see will be this plaque honoring Coyner Smith and all the people that have helped us put this house back together over these last 9 months or so. Thank you very much.
I just say one word? Yes. You know, the only reason we had enough money as former music students to do this is Donna and I have been in iron and steel for quite some time. She irons and I steel. That's all I had to say.
Now, Mr. Smith, I know your hands are rather full at this time, but if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to assume the ribbon of the house and officially be open. And now, in closing, I would just like to say that thank you very much, Mr. Smith, and that this house does not belong to any one person or one man, but to all who helped out. We've all got a share in this house. So as we look forward to a bright and positive future with PMA, I just invite you all to work together, and it's going to be a really cool year and the rest of the future of Alpha Lambda. Okay. And of course, you're welcome inside for the reception food and to see the rest of the house if you haven't already.